So we all know that chopped chicken livers are the best to make chopped liver. You can also make it with beef livers. So we have the liver fully trimmed, 100% trimmed. It's a pain in the ass, but you got to do it. So the liver and the onions get sauteed. Now if this was really kosher, then the liver would be put on a screen, put into the oven, and cooked until the pieces were dry. You can't cook it like this. For religious, the Hasidim and whatever other sects that really go for glatt kosher. But I cook it like this because I'm not glatt kosher. So I have in there light olive oil. You really need, well, for chicken livers you need chicken fat. If I had chicken fat I would also put some in this too. But I don't have chicken fat. The second best thing is light olive oil instead of using a vegetable oil. So at least that part of it is healthy. And the eggs are boiling in another pot. And then salt and pepper. There's only basic ingredients for chopped liver. The liver, the onions, the eggs, the salt, the pepper, and the chicken fat. You can't get away without putting chicken fat in chopped chicken livers because it gives it the taste. And although kosher food is not healthy, it certainly is very tasty. So we have that. Salt and pepper, and of course later, after we grind this up in the fine whole in a meat grinder, the same way you would be doing it if you were making your own chopped meat. So this has to cook 100% through. There is no rare, medium rare when it comes to chopped liver. It's a simple recipe, and I'm not going to waste the film because you get bored looking at this. So what you do is, after 10 minutes, push on this stuff. If there's a lot of give on the meat, it's not done. And then when it feels hard, then it's done. And just to make sure, take a knife, cut one of the pieces in half. If it's brown throughout, then you're ready to go to the next step, which is allowing it to cool off. You would drain the fat that you're using, because you're going to have enough of this fat on the onions, on the meat, that you don't need the excess which is in the pan. So it's been cooking like this, nice and slow, for about 20 minutes. It smells better than onions and liver cooking. So now we have to double check. So there are no errors here. Take the biggest piece and just cut it in half. And look at it. Looks brown to me. So this part of the recipe is done. I'm going to take that off. with the juices and the fat. Ooh, sorry. And put it into a bowl. Put the bowl in the refrigerator, uncovered, and maybe in about half hour it should be ready. Now, all of that flavor, that brown in there, that's flavor, and you don't want to lose it. I did say we were going to take everything out and drain the fat, but there's flavor in there. So that's what we have. And this happens to, it's not a lot, because this was leftover beef liver from the recipe that I made with beef liver, bacon and onions, etc. a couple of days ago. Now I put it into the grinder. In the past I made this and I used the Cuisinart, but it comes out too smooth. So you want a little bit of so smooth, like how can I say this? I can't think, but anyway, this is going into a small bowl. Then I will follow with the egg, because the mixture, the ratio of egg to meat has to be just right. And I may have to make some adjustments. And when I'm done, if it doesn't taste right, I might add more, saute some onion and add onion. That's no problem, because this recipe has to be perfect for the texture and the flavor. So we'll turn this on, hold this up here, see it kneaded everything from the pan, the oil and the liquid. And as a matter of fact, it might need even more liquid, which means I will add some water to this. And that's not a problem, nothing wrong with that. I have to scrape off what's on here, that's onions. And that has to be ground up. Now the egg. Considering what just came out, I know I have to add the other egg. Just let that run until it's all done. And there's what we have. So I will put this into a bowl next, mix it up, and we'll see what we have. Mix everything with the back of the spoon like so. I added 2 tablespoons of cold water to this. I haven't tasted it yet, but you see the texture? It's easily spreadable and it doesn't run, fall off. So now I'm nervous about tasting this because I hope it's finished. But I'm guessing that there's not enough onions in there. So I take a little bit. It has a good taste. I have to think a few minutes about whether it needs more onion. Salt it doesn't need. Pepper it doesn't need. Maybe just a pinch more of salt. So, I have already a half a teaspoon I put in there. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon more. Maybe that's a quarter of a teaspoon. So it's 3/4 of a teaspoon that I have. The only thing I'm missing that would really make it outstanding is some chicken fat. But at least I'm not using vegetable oil. I'm using light olive oil. And why light? Because if I use regular olive oil, it'll give it a flavor. This stuff has like no flavor at all. So let's see. Get that salt mixed well in there because that's it, we're done. Now, to really taste it, what you need is some kind of cracker. So we'll take this, a little bit, and put it on a cracker. Good. Now you can make a sandwich of this with lettuce and tomato. Eat it with crackers. That's how it's usually done. I like the oyster cracker because the oyster cracker really has no flavor and works better with something like chopped liver. So I hope you enjoy it.